So here we have the Eggfinder LCD, which is the receiver for the GPS transmitters from Egg Timer Rocketry. Let's open it up, see what we have. We have some solder. We have a push button with soldered wires. We have a character display. Have the parts list. We have the circuit board with the various components. And that is the contents of the LCD kit. I have loaded a 3cc syringe with a little bit of solder paste, and I'm using a 20 gauge applicator to apply solder paste to all the surface mount pads on the top side of the board. First, I'll start by placing the 3.3 volt linear voltage regulator. Then I'll place the 5 volt regulator. And then I'll place the 10 microfarad capacitors found in the clear unmarked carrier. And in the clear carrier with the red marking, you'll find the 22 microfarad capacitor. Let's place that next. In the white paper carrier, you will find the 0.1 microfarad capacitors. We'll place that next. Now I'll place the 10K resistors, marked 103, followed by the 1K resistor, marked 102. Now I reposition the board so I don't melt my vise. And now I use my hot air rework station with the speed set to 1.5 and the temperature set to 404. I slowly heat up the board, melting the solder, soldering the components in place. And this 10 microfarad capacitor at the top of the board didn't want to align itself, so I just give it a little loving nudge to align it. I keep working my way across the board. And now everything's soldered. Now I place the crystal. And then the microcontroller, gently massaging the pins to align them with the holes. Now I place the buzzer into the bottom left-hand corner of the board. It's non-polarized, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. And then I place the potentiometer to adjust the contrast of the LCD. Now I flip the board over and start soldering the microcontroller in place. I apply heat to one side of the pad and solder to the other. And then I solder the crystal, the buzzer. Now I take my flush side cutters and trim off the excess leads. And then I solder the potentiometer. Next, let's install the RF module. I apply solder to only one pad, bring the module in, tack it in place, and then I solder the remaining pads. Next, I add the SMA RF connector and solder it to the board, making sure to solder the antenna output of the RF module. And then I flip the board and solder the two remaining mounting lugs. Now I insert the female header that connects to the LCD. I hold it in place by bending the two pins on the end, and then I solder it in place. Now I flip the board around, insert the right angle headers. I use tape to hold them in place, flip the board over, and solder in place. Now I switch to the LCD, insert the male header, and solder it in place. I have the LCD module clamped in my vise with the header touching the tabletop. Now I plug the LCD module into the PCB assembly, and I apply 8 volts. And as you can see, the contrast of the display is off. So I remove the module and I adjust the contrast potentiometer. Turn the power supply back on and I don't see anything, so we have overcompensated. Still not enough. Let's keep adjusting. And we found perfection. Everything seems to be working as it should. I'll do further validation later. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.